Hey everyone, Brian here. Now, as you know, I'm a Transformers fan, and I've showed you my Transformers figures, but I want to show you some other parts of my Transformers collection. For example, right here I have some of my Transformer comics. Now this here is the original Marvel release adaptation of the Transformers movie. In other words, you know how comic companies do, adaptations of feature films and all that into comic books. Well, this was the Transformers comic book adaptation in 1986. This is actually the original issues, believe it or not. Now, if I can just get them out, I'm sorry about the lighting here. But like I said, these are the original issues. As a matter of fact, it says right there, December 1986. Well, you know how they always say a few months before. And of course, they do their own little adaptation of what's going on. They add in a few things that we haven't seen before. They add in their own little adaptations, I should say. But you can also tell that it's 1986 because one of the things that you see in here is the advertisements for the Saturday morning cartoons. Now you might look at these, you might say, well, what do they look like? Well, take a look. If you can see well with the lighting, I don't know if you can see well. Let's get the lighting in there a little bit. But as you can see, those are the advertisements for 1986. And I don't know if you can read it right there, but those are the shows they were advertising. And the same goes for the next two right here. But these three issues right here are basically, like I said, the adaptation issues, the original adaptations of the Transformers movie by Marvel Comics when Marvel did the Transformer comics. Now, speaking of Marvel, let me just try to figure these out here. Right here are some of the original Marvel comics of Transformers. These, believe it or not, I had these a long time ago when I was a kid, and I don't know what happened to them. So fortunately, I was able to go on the Mile High Comics site and buy them. But these are all the Transformer comics that you might remember. And if some of you have these comics or have them, you can let me know on my page. That is, as you could see. These are all the original Marvel comics of the Transformers. In fact, I think I need to put these in order, so what I need to do. Now, speaking of Transformers comics, how about we go into these comics right here? Speaking of Transformer movies. These are actually the 2-issue, I think it was 3 or 4 issue prequel to the 2007 live-action movie. I know that IDW, which is one of the main publishers of the Transformer comics nowadays, has done some new ones in time for the second movie. But these are all the prequels to the first one. I'm pretty sure a lot of you probably have these issues. If not, I could probably tell you where to get them, because mine are not for sale. I don't mean to be mean there, but it's true. And then, of course, we have these issues. We have the official comic book adaptation by the IDW. And as you know, with any comic book adaptation, they bring in their own little extras and all that. But I think they still stay relatively true to the movie itself. Maybe a few added scenes in here and there. And then, of course, we have one of the stories by ID Comics. In fact, we have two. In fact, I have two of them. This one is Volume 1. It's called The War Within. It's basically the origin story of how everything began. And we get a little bit more information about the characters, and as a matter of fact, we even get the Dinobots in here, I think, as well as the Combaticons and everything. It's basically an origin story of how the war began and everything on Cybertron. That's what I believe it is. It's called The War Within, as you can see. It even shows some future glimpses of the... Well, if you got this comic, you know what I'm talking about. But this is the War Within comic. As you can see, War Within. And then right here we have Volume 2 of the Transformers. I think this is when they arrive on Earth, or they're still on Cybertron or something, I don't really know. But this is the second volume. And this is basically, I think, combining everyone together. Yeah, this basically, I think, combines all the past and present Transformers together in one story. I think that's what they do here. But this is Volume 2 of it. It's called Generation 1. I don't know what the title is. I'll have to look at it. Oh, it's War and Peace is what it is right there, War and Peace. But yeah, you know, this is part of my Transformers collection right here, comic book wise. And then, of course, speaking of movies again, is, you know, just in time for the 20th anniversary of the movie, 2.5 years ago, we have not 3 but 4 issues based on the movie, as you can see, and they stay relatively true to the film. Kind of have their own little extras here and there. As you can see, they have their own little extras here and there. And they have little backstories, you know, like sneak previews or something like that. And then, of course, like I said, these are all the issues. These are 4-parters, basically staying true to the film as much as they can. And yeah, that's about what it is with these. You know, they basically stay true. It's basically a adaptation of the movie by IDW Comics. So, and they did, you know, as far as I'm concerned, probably a better job than Marvel did. But what are you going to do? And then, of course, we have my other comics right here. Issue 1 is right here by ID Comics, called Infiltration. And then, of course, we have a couple of G.I. Joe crossovers with the Transformers right here. Matter of fact, I think I got 1, 2, 3, yep. I got 4 of them. I think I got most of the issues. I got to put them in order, though. I got the Art of War stories as well, so I think I got them in order, most of them, but not all of them. But these are most of the G.I. Joe Transformer crossovers, which to many people is like a dream. As a matter of fact, the only G.I. Joe crossover we had close enough in the cartoon was the Transformers episode Only Human, and we know how that one is. Now I have issue 2B and 2A of Escalation, which was previewed in one of the movie adaptations, and I think 5A, and that's about it. And these are all by IDW Comics, as you can see. And then, of course, I have the first official of Transformers. I got this at a half-price bookstore, as well as these 2, 3, 4, and 6. But yeah, you know, that's most of my Transformer comics right there. I thought I'd show them to you. I hope you enjoyed them, and I know you can't see them now because the light's not so well, but hope you enjoyed them, and until next time, I'm Brian saying God bless and take care.